Something very funny happened the other day when I was walking down exactly this road, because around that corner, just as I was here, around that corner came a very pretty young local Indonesian woman, maybe in her mid-20s, and she approached me very enthusiastically, greeted me, was smiling, very outgoing, and she asked me whether she could talk to me for a bit because she wanted to practice her English. And to be honest, within the first seconds I was a little bit suspicious, because this is not really the normal behavior of a normal, regular Indonesian girl. I pointed that out again in one of my latest videos. By the way, walking here somewhere in Yogyakarta, little traffic going on, I don't know why, even it's a Sunday. Anyway, so I found it a little bit suspicious, but anyway, she seemed to be very open and friendly, and her English actually was quite well. Maybe better than my English, who knows? It's funny actually that some guys comment on my German accent, you know, but I take it as a compliment when people say, "Oh, you sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger," you know. It's funny.
Get to the chopper! Got you on that one, huh?
But anyway, you know, believe me, if I would sound like Arnold, I would have way more subscribers and followers. But anyway, back to the topic. So we got chatting, and she was really good looking. So, and she asked me what I'm doing here, blah blah blah, and I told her I'm a tourist. And then I asked her what she's doing here, and she said, yeah, you know, I actually have a coffee shop over there. I'm working at a coffee shop. And I thought, that sounds interesting. Maybe I should visit her at her coffee shop one day, right? And I asked her, so where's your coffee shop? And she said, you know, it's right there near Taman Sari. Taman Sari is a place, it's a special site here in Yogyakarta. I think it belongs to the Sultan, or belonged to the Sultan. And I was actually on my way to that site to have a look, to hang out a little bit there, because it's a very beautiful site. And she told me, yeah, my coffee shop is right near that site, and if you want, I can bring you there. We can either walk or you can hop onto my bike, and I give you a ride. And then she mentioned her coffee shop, you know, like that she is, not she, but the people who are working there, I could have a look how they produce the coffee. And it's actually the famous Luwak coffee. And the funny thing was, just a day before I researched this topic, Luwak coffee. It's the most expensive coffee in the world, and it is being produced here in Indonesia, in Java, and I believe also in Bali, because one of my good Indonesian friends, she lives in Hong Kong, she works there, and she just asked me the other day, hey Marcel, can you not just, because I will be in Hong Kong soon, yeah, I'm gonna visit a few people in Hong Kong, and I'm also gonna visit my friend there. And she asked me, hey Marcel, can you bring me some Indonesian coffee? I said, no problem. I just have no clue about coffee, right? So she said, you know, she sent me some pictures, and then I checked out her pictures, and I saw this Luwak brand. So I researched it a little bit, you know, and found out that it's actually the most expensive coffee in the world because of the production process. You can go watch a YouTube video. It's actually cat poop. Yeah, not really cats, but there's a certain animal who is eating these coffee beans, and then they're being fermented inside of the intestines of this animal, and then it's being pooped out again, and these beans are being cleaned and then washed and then roasted, and then and that's the whole process, and probably therefore it is so expensive. I'm not a coffee drinker, I have no clue. So anyway, so this girl, the girl who approached me was talking about this Luwak coffee, and since I just researched this topic, I was kind of interested, and I said, okay, let's go. I will hop onto your bike. Thanks for wanting to giving me a ride. And then let's have a look how they produce the coffee. But actually, I thought we're gonna hang out a little bit, at Taman Sari, me and the girl, and get some chatting going. I don't know. But pretty much, once I hopped onto her bike and we got going, it dawned on me that, hey, wait a minute, Marcel, something is really weird here, I mean, her whole behavior doesn't make sense, and it kind of dawned on me that I knew, hey, this girl is just bringing me now to the coffee shop, then she will drop me there, and then I will have to deal with these people there trying to sell me something. Even I told this girl, hey, we can go to the coffee shop, but I won't buy anything. I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not interested, in coffee. But she said, no, we just go there and you can have a look if you're interested. And since I was researching this topic, I was really interested. So, anyway, so yeah, and then we drove maybe like 3 minutes. Wasn't far. And then she dropped me at that coffee shop, and then she went away. And that's the whole story. It's actually funny, I just wanted to share this with you because it kind of fits the occasion. In my last video I just talked about it, Indonesian girls, when they stare at you, what it means, or when Indonesian girls are staring at you, what kind of category of woman that could be, you have to be careful. So now I was walking down the road the other day, and then I got approached, but this actually, when I now reflect a little bit on it, then she was too over enthusiastic, and that she was a sales lady. That what she was, this is what dawned on me when I then was riding with her bike, or together with her, and then it really turned out that way. So long story short, again, so you see, forget about that, Indonesian girls approaching you, talking to you on the streets in Indonesia. They will not do this. A normal, regular Indonesian girl is shy, even she speaks English very well or somehow. Yeah. This is not how Indonesian girls do the job. Yeah? They are shy and passive. And if it happens that you encounter this kind of situation where a beautiful, attractive young Indonesian woman is approaching you on the streets, talking to you and asking you questions, be careful, be suspicious. She just might wanna sell you something, and I'm not talking about sex or her body, I share the story also because it really never happened to me, something like that, and I was caught off guard a little bit. Like I said, the first few seconds I found it a little bit fishy, but then I thought, oh, well, maybe she is really, I don't know, someone special who is like not like the other ordinary girls. But at the end of the day, too good to be true, it turned out that she was just a sales lady, and she wanted to, this is a job, she is attractive, she speaks English well, he's approaching foreigners here in Jogja, like foreign tourists, and then she is talking them into following her to the shop. it's how do you persuade people 101, right? Nothing special. The funny thing was, when I entered this coffee shop, I saw already another white couple sitting there, and they tried the coffee, and I was just feeling a little bit pity for them, because you know, they most likely would buy their coffee, and the coffee was very expensive. Like, they sell it, this Luwak coffee. They have a little today is Sunday, they have a little market going here. Anyway, we have some people over there. Yeah, and this Luwak coffee again is very expensive, and they, in this shop, they sold it for like 50 gram for 450,000 rupiah, which is roughly almost $30. So I'm not a coffee drinker, I couldn't care less, but you guys, I know some of you are coffee drinkers. So 50 gram of blended coffee beans, roasted, $28. Isn't that a bargain? No, I don't think so. And I know, I checked the prices, you know, you can get 50 gram, I believe, already for $10, which is still very expensive. Yeah, for 160,000 rupiah, it's about $10. I saw it, you can buy it online, the real Luwak coffee, I believe. And this lady wanted to sell me 50 gram for like triple that price. An absolute rip-off. I'm glad I didn't buy anything, because I told her straight away when I entered this this shop, you know, I'm just here, this girl dropped me off, I don't even know why, and I'm not buying anything. She said, yeah, just have a look and this and that. So anyway, that's the story. Don't get fooled by over enthusiastic, super friendly, good looking Indonesian girls when they approach you on the streets. And she was alone. You have to be suspicious, okay? Don't, how to say, jump too early into any conclusions, okay? Normal, regular Indonesian girls, you will have to approach them if you are interested in them, okay? You have to figure it out. Anyway, with that being said, checking out for today here on a sunny and hot Sunday morning. It's a Sunday, and gonna see you on one of my next videos. Let me know if you have made similar encounters. Were you approached by Indonesian women other than hookers? No. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.